Okay, so this is my take two. So hopefully there's no technical difficulties this time. Hello, everyone. If you are a patron coming over from Patreon, then you already are well through this course, and we left off with the Hanged Man. So we are going to continue, and I'm trying. Okay, yeah. So we are going to start this video with the Death card. Now, there are a few cards in the Major Arcana that may be a little scary at first for some people if they aren't familiar with the meanings. So I want you to know that there is no such thing as a scary card in the tarot. Everything is, I mean, there's positive and there's negative, but the negative is just regular negative stuff, the stuff that we're already dealing with. It's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm going to tell you why as we go through each of those cards, starting with the Death card. The Death card is a card about it's really about cycles, right? It's really about the ending of a cycle. It's about the death of a cycle. It's about letting go of things and releasing what no longer serves you. It's about letting go of toxic cycles and patterns and habits and behaviors and relationships and work environments and family generational curses and things like that. It's about endings. It's about rebirth. Okay. The Death card is associated with Scorpio, which, if you're familiar with the Wheel of the Year, Scorpio is also associated with death in regards to like nature. Everything kind of starts to die, the leaves turn colors, the leaves are falling off the trees are literally letting go of things, and everything's kind of going dormant for the winter, okay, because there's going to be a rebirth come winter, there's going to be a transformation, come spring, once winter is over, and everything's going to come back there. That's the rebirth, right? So think of the Death card as winter. Think of it as like we're letting go of things, we're ending things in order to kind of give ourselves the rest or give ourselves whatever it is that we need, so that we can have our rebirth, right? It's leaning into change, it's moving on, it's transitioning, it's mourning, because letting go of things isn't always happy times. Letting go of things isn't always freedom. Sometimes we have to let go of relationships or jobs or situations that it's painful to let those things go. So there might be some mourning there. It's the number 13, and it's nothing to be afraid of, you guys. It's just kind of letting go, endings, um, saying goodbye to what no longer serves us, what no longer is suitable for us. And again, sometimes that can be hard. Sometimes it can be hard to say goodbye to our old selves, but we have to make room for the new, evolved, grown us or situation, right? Okay, so next up we have number 14, the Temperance card. This is associated with Sagittarius energy. And if you look at the card, you have this angel with this halo surrounding their head. They've got one foot in the water, one foot on the earth, which I find very interesting, bringing in those elements of earth and water, emotions and grounding energy, intuition and unconscious with the physical and conscious. They have cups in their hands, kind of like they're trying to balance things out. It's like a scale, sort of trying to bring balance. The Temperance card is all about moderation. It's all about patience and thinking things through, thoughtfulness, okay? It's about cautious, okay? Being cautious when you're moving forward, making sure that what you're doing is the right move. It's also a healing card for those of us that are going through a healing journey, trying to find our inner peace, okay? It's about peace and alignment and balance. It's a question of what is better together than it is apart, okay? It's about taking things in moderation and not overindulging or going from one extreme to another extreme and trying to find the middle ground, okay? Next up, we have the Devil, which is another card that, like I said, there's a few that might seem scary, but it's not. This card actually represents the shadow self. So this could indicate that maybe there's some self-reflection that needs to be done, or there's some shadow work that needs to be done, or there's something from our past or something, some kind of experience or something in our shadow selves or our unconscious mind, subconscious mind that may need to be addressed. Okay. It also indicates an addiction if that resonates. And this could be any type of addiction. Typically, it's substance, but it could be anything. It could be gambling, it could be gaming, it could be shopping, it could be an addiction to a person or a relationship, like a codependency, an indulgence, okay, a temptation. It could indicate that there's a temptation. It could be a message to separate your needs from addiction. Okay, what do you need? Do you really need to go to the casino today? Do you really need to video game for 21 hours straight? Do you really need that other can of beer or whatever? So just kind of illuminating the shadows. It's also associated with Capricorn energy. And that was number 15. Number 16, we have the Tower card, which is another one of the major arcana that can seem kind of scary. The Tower card is number 16, and it symbolizes destruction, collapse, sudden change, crisis, disaster. Think of this card as like when you tear a building down. Maybe it has toxic mold. Maybe it has an infestation. Maybe it's just not a good building. It's just not healthy. It's not suitable. It's not what we need anymore. So we tear it down. And instead of focusing in on us destroying this building, focus on the potential. Focus on, okay, now we have a clean slate to work with. Now we have this clean land that we could build anything that we want, that serves us, that would be good for us, that would be healthier for us. Okay. So it's kind of like that transition, that evolution of like destroying what was because it's necessary in order to move forward with something better, something more improved, something healthier. It's also a card that reminds us to trust in source and to observe the destruction. Okay, just kind of sit back and trust that the universe is going to do its thing. If it's destroying something in your life, perhaps that's necessary. Perhaps that's divine guidance or protection. Okay, just trust in that source and observe what's happening. Next up, we have a more positive card. It's the star, and this is number 17. The star card is kind of your silver lining. It's your light at the end of the tunnel. So it's hope, it's faith, it's healing. Okay, she's got her cups and she's um like pouring into the water, filling her cups from the water. Water, as we know, is the element of water is associated with emotional healing and intuition and feminine energy. This is regeneration, this is inspiration, it's guidance, and it's a message to cultivate optimism, to remind you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that you are going to get through this and your wishes are going to come true. Think of the star card as like you wish upon a star. The universe has your back. The universe is going to provide you with whatever it is that you're trying to manifest right now. You just have to trust that it's coming. Work on your healing in the meantime, okay? Next up, we have the moon card. And as you like, if you're spiritual, you might already understand the symbolism of the moon. It's pretty much the same thing in the tarot. It's associated with the unconscious mind, the dreams, okay, um, the intuition, the emotional or the moods. So it's kind of like a reminder to pay attention to your moods, examine your moods. It could be a message that someone is losing their way or that your habits may need to be re examined. So perhaps falling back into old habits, or what habits do we need to begin? What habits do we need to start? What are some healthier habits that we could cultivate? And what are some not so healthy habits that we could let go of? Okay, so, and it's also a very strong message to pay attention to your dreams because there might be some sort of intuitive messages coming in through your dreams. Then we have the sun card, which is a very vibrant card. It's a very positive card. You've got this little kid on this white horse, protected by this wall. There's an abundance of flowers behind him. There's a big, huge sun, and he's kind of waving this flag or this scarf, um, just kind of feeling happy. And the sun represents happiness. It represents positivity and optimism and radiance. It's a reminder for us to bring light to the situation. It's a reminder for us to be more playful and to have more fun in the situation. But it's also an indication and some guidance to define what happiness means to us. Because sometimes when we are trying to manifest happiness, or we are saying that we're grateful for happiness, or whatever it is when we're communicating with source, happiness means something different to every person. If you ask this kid, happiness might be an ice cream cone, but for you, happiness might be $1 million. For me, happiness might be having my own land and living off of my own land. For someone else, happiness might be traveling the world. So it's different for everyone. So reflecting on what happiness means to you, and when you're trying to manifest that happiness, or when you're working with the universe, being specific about what that happiness actually entails and what it means to you. Next up, we have the Judgment card. This is number 20. And the Judgment card is the forgiveness card. This is my card that indicates that somebody either needs to receive forgiveness or they need to forgive. And typically it's that they actually need to forgive someone. And typically it's for some sort of a healing process, because forgiveness is very, it's imperative for our healing journey, right? Whether it's forgiving someone from our childhood or someone from our recent past, or whether it's forgiving ourselves or needing to ask for forgiveness. It's very important. This is the card also for an awakening. So somebody could be going through an awakening or a rebirth. It's a message of self-awareness. So kind of doing like an honest self-assessment, self-reflection, and just being self-aware. What are you bringing to the table? What negatives are you bringing? What positives are you bringing? And just kind of following your purpose. Okay, what are your ethical codes? What are your moral standards? What is your purpose? What do you feel like you were put here on the earth to do? And just following that. Next up, we have the World. The World card is a great ending for the tarot because it means completion. It means that we are done. It means that we are fulfilled and we are content with all of this. We've gone through all of the major arcana. If you reflect back to the meanings of all of the major arcana cards, we've started the new beginning. We've manifested, we've focused, we've listened to our intuition, we've evolved, we've grown, we've reflected, we've let go of things that we needed to let go of. We've reflected on things that we needed to reflect on. We've progressed. We've done all of those things, right? We've been optimistic and we've paid attention to our moods. And now it's time to just sit back and be content and just enjoy it, and just enjoy the journey, and to feel like, okay, we're done now. We've completed this. We're good to go. And so that's a great ending to the tarot. So I hope that this helps you guys. And next up, we will be doing reversals.